Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
Welcome to a very special Thursday edition of Ringside Reporter podcast. I told you we'd have news, and we don't disappoint. We got news. Beeb, do we got news today or what?
Yeah, it's just a good story.
Come on, man. I need some oomph from you.
Well, I already knew it was going to happen anyway, so it's not like I was surprised.
Wow.
I kept saying it was going to happen.
Oh, how dare you. Money
always talks, and people don't want to believe it. I mean, when you have the largest economy in the world, this is what happens. And I mean, why would you go back to a country the size of Oregon?
Oregon. You know how at first it was Texas, then it's Oregon, then pretty soon it's going to be Rhode Island. You know?
We'll see how it goes.
All right. The rematch for Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz will be in New York City at Madison Square Garden. Now, this is according to The Independent, an online UK newspaper. Now, they seem to be pretty credible as far as like their stories go and everything. We've looked at them and everything. Could still be a rumor. Again, nothing is set in stone, guys. Nothing is set. Nothing is signed. Here's what they did say. The rematch clause in the original fight's contract has been triggered by Joshua's team, with the fight set to take place in November or December. And The Independent understands Sky Sports have already begun preparations for the contest to be staged at Madison Square Garden, despite hopes from Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn to bring it to the UK at Wembley, Cardiff's Principality, or the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So there you go. This is, like I said, man, this is interesting. I think that, this is a big deal. I mean, and you have to give Anthony Joshua, I think, a lot of credit for wanting to come back to the scene of the crime. I think you have to give him a lot of credit for being definitely a true sportsman. I mean, if nothing else, I mean, to honor the champion in the sense that say, hey, well, we'll go to your place and fight you. You're the champion, Now, let's not get crazy and twisted and everything. The bottom line is it's about money.
Thank you.
Thank you. But Hearn very much wanted this fight to take place in the UK.
But his daddy DAZN said, no, you're not going to have the fight in the UK. You're going to have it here, or we're going to cut, or we're going to give you a significantly less money if the fight's in the UK.
Scant Rants in the chat just said, guess Hearn didn't have that $50 million for Anthony Ruiz, huh? Yeah, right? My goodness. And I'll tell you what, I hope Andy Ruiz is getting paid. I hope he's getting paid a lot more than what was on that contract, quite honestly. They said it was $10 million. He deserves a lot more than $10 million. He does.
Well, Sky Sports has reported it too. And if they're going to broadcast a pay-per-view, then they definitely know. So this is
a done deal, man. This is
pretty much set.
If Sky Sports has reported it, then
Sky Sports reported it. The Sun reported it. The Sun's pretty good.
Yeah, so everybody seems to be jumping on that bandwagon now. So yeah, man, that's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy news. I did not expect it. I did not expect this to be back at Madison Square. He was looking, especially with Eddie Hearn, was looking at those three stadiums. He was looking at Cardiff, Wembley, and Tottenham. Those three stadiums, and those are all soccer type stadiums. Those are all soccer stadiums. So a lot of people, a lot of people there. And what does MSG hold? About 2022 maybe?
Like 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. It looks pretty good. I mean, I think it's interesting. It's interesting that he comes back. Interesting that the fight's going to be in New York City. I think there is definitely more money in New York City than I think that the fight sells out again. I mean, now it's a real hot ticket.
Well, the thing is this.
Huge.
Thing is this. Canelo had the two highest viewed fights on DAZN, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess Anthony Joshua's fight with Ruiz did half of what Canelo's fight did. I guess they said against Fielding or something like that. So it didn't do great numbers. But this fight, in order for it to do good, had to be in prime time on DAZN. Because people just weren't going to watch this fight at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You just weren't going to get the same viewership. Because, again, UK has the best fans in the world. Unfortunately, US does not. How many people were going to stop and watch this? Now, at least now, you'll get people at bars watching it. You'll get people at clubs watching it. So people who are already out will be watching it. You know, and a lot of these clubs and these bars and, you know, all these sports type setting environments will buy this fight, and they'll show it to a lot of people. And I'm not sure how this whole thing would work, but I think all they would have to do is download the app and then just show it on a big screen television, because I think there's some establishments are still doing it like that. So this was a no-brainer, Eric. It had to be this way in order for it to make sense, you know. And Eddie Hearn keeps saying, Eddie Hearn, the more he talks, the more he makes Joshua look so weak. First he says, oh, he looked relieved when he lost. Now he's saying, oh, well, he was a fool for fighting in the United States. When in the UK, we definitely would have the advantage. Like, why would you, like, that just sounds like so stupid. Because you came to the United States in the first place. So why did you come in the first place if you were afraid of giving up an advantage, number one? And number two, just as many people at MSG were there for Anthony Joshua than they were there for Ruiz, probably more. And then you already had the judges who were favoring Joshua. You had the referee who seemed to be giving Joshua a lot of time to recover and stuff. The fight could have actually been stopped in the third round if you really wanted to get technical. But the whole thing is this. Oh, whoa. Go back to the UK where we get our advantage. It's like all of these big UK fighters who wanted to become crossover stars, who wanted to make it big, everyone came to the United States to try to succeed, to win over the American market. So to go back to the UK would admit failure, would admit you're not good enough to be like Lennox Lewis, to be like Ricky Hatton, to be like Carl Froch, to be like James DeGale, to be like Joe Calzaghe. Everyone who came to the United States to try to make a mark, then you failed, and then you just go back and fold up your tent and give up on the mission. And so in other words, you're telling your own fighter that you don't think he has as good a chance as if the fight's in the United States than if it's in the UK. That just shows you don't have any faith in your fighter. That just shows that you don't think that your fighter's good enough that he would need every single conceivable advantage over a guy that he was supposed to crush. It's just a bad look, and I'm going to stand on that, and that's just my opinion. And I think that, you know, by Eddie Hearn talking and saying all these things, I think it's bad PR for his fighter. It's my opinion.
Let's see here. Omar Rodriguez in the chat says, is there a date being rumored? The date is November or December. That's when they're looking to get this fight done.
Yeah, it's like a 10-day period of dates. Like
yeah.
November something to December 4th or something like that. November 26th or something to, like, I don't know.
Right. So
yeah.
So I want you to keep that in mind. Keep in mind what you just said when we go on to our next story. But I just want to stay here for a minute.
Look what Igloo just said. Wanting to get every advantage does not mean you don't have confidence. Really? Really? So when you play a guy a 9-ball and you spot him 3 balls, that guy, so are you trying to tell me by spotting that guy 3 balls, that guy thinks he's as good as you when you spot him 3 balls? When you're playing someone in a game of horse and you start at H, and you start at R, and the other guy starts at H, you're not giving that guy an advantage. So if that guy was, thinks he's as good as you because he got spotted 3 letters. When you look for every advantage you can get, that means you don't have confidence. Now let me explain something else too. Andrew Ruiz won the fight. I don't give a fuck what the contract says. So when the Celtics are in the playoffs and they're playing the fucking Cavaliers, Celtics have a better record than the Cavaliers throughout the course of the season, right? They won more games, right? They get home court advantage. So the team that wins gets home court advantage. Why, you lost the fight and you still want home court advantage after that. It's like you need it makes you look like a diva. I said the same thing. Remember when Cotto was looking for all those advantages against Canelo and Sergio Martinez?
I hate Miguel Cotto.
It makes you look like a diva. There's no way to spin it. There's no way to. Floyd
did
was
the same thing too. You're right, and Floyd looked bad for it.
And Floyd looked bad. Floyd did not look strong when he would not let Maidana wear his gloves. That was a week that made Floyd look bad. I'll say it. That's the best fighter in the world, but that made Floyd look bad. But here's the thing, though: when Floyd was on the come up, and he fought De La Hoya, and he fought earlier in his career, he had to fight Gotti on Gotti's home turf. He had to fight Oscar De La Hoya and give up every conceivable advantage. So Floyd did pay his dues. Floyd did pay his dues early on, but he did turn into a diva later in his career. Absolutely.
I don't care if you pay your dues or not. I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is. There's no, but Josh,
it doesn't make you any less of a diva.
No, it doesn't.
If you paid your dues.
But at least Floyd could turn around and say that. Joshua can't say that.
Joshua can't say that. Right.
Joshua can't say that. He didn't pay his dues.
Right. I agree with that. Floyd is TBE. Floyd is TBE because he calls himself TBE. That's it. That's the only reason he's TBE, because he calls himself TBE. That's it.
Well, it wasn't a good look for Floyd when he would let Maidana wear the gloves. No, everyone called him out on it.
Not to mention Floyd wouldn't.
No, AJ did not pay his dues because ever since he turned pro, he was coddled. Klitschko didn't fight him in Germany. Klitschko fought him in the UK. Everyone had to fight him in the UK. He didn't pay his dues. This was the first time he went to someone else's backyard. So no, he did not pay his dues. No. Nothing can be said to change that. No. Being a diva and being confident are very much the same thing, because if you need every conceivable advantage, then that means that you have doubts.
Igloo 2 said Floyd is the best boxer ever. Eric, you don't know anything about boxing. You disagree.
Your opinion.
Well, that's a strong argument. There it is. That's a very strong argument.
Yeah.
Disagree is spelled wrong, by the way.
Listen, we can go back and forth who's the best. It's an opinion. It's opinion based.
It's complete opinion.
And all it is a straw man argument. That's all it is.
That's it. That's it. You cannot. There is absolutely zero way to prove.
It's a straw man, red herring type argument. It's very weird. Again, when you guys come to class, bring your fucking homework completed.
Right.
Don't sit down at your desk without your homework completed. And
compare AJ to Floyd, not even close. Are you understanding what we are comparing? Are you understanding what we are comparing here?
Again,
we're comparing the fact we're actually comparing 3 people here, Canelo included, Cotto included, 4 people now, in the sense that, hey, they have fights on their terms, at catch weights, at this, at that, in the UK or wherever. That's what we're comparing. We're not comparing actual styles. Guys, come on, keep up.
Debate with logic. Do not debate with emotion. Again, huge Fury fan. Huge Sugar Ray.
Igloo 2 spelt is not a word. Spelled, LLED.
Get him, Eric. Get him, kill him.
Leonard was very diva-ish also.
He was.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
He was the biggest one. Absolutely.
Leonard is my favorite fighter of all time. What he made Donnie Lalonde do was fucking ridiculous. Donnie Lalonde looked like a skeleton. A fucking skeleton when he fought Sugar Ray Leonard. And why did Donnie Lalonde have to put his light heavyweight title on the line when the contracted weight limit was 168? Again, I love Leonard to death. I did an hour-long interview with Leonard. It was the highlight of my life. Okay? But that was bullshit. This is how we do it here. We call it down the middle. We can criticize people we love.
Alexander Wilson, thank you so much. He said Chavez Jr. had so many advantages in his career, too.
Again,
let me tell you what, you are 100% right. Not to mention, one of his biggest advantages is having, JC as his father. How he like the greatest, one of the best fighters of all time in his corner, teaching you how to fight since you were, 3.
Spelt is not
absolutely he did.
Spelt is not
100%. Can you imagine what kind of pull he had in Mexico as far as those fights went? It's crazy.
Spelt is a grain. It's not a fucking word. Spelt is a grain.
Oh my God. Igloo.
All you got to do is Google spelt.
Igloo. Come
spelt,
on, man.
Spelt, also known as dinkel wheat or hulled wheat, is a species of wheat cultivated. That spelt is not spelled. It's supposed to be spelled.
Come on, son. Igloo 2, what do you do for a living?
It's spelled.
Come on.
Again, stop it. Why do these people?
Come on. I saw it in the Webster's Dictionary. Spelt is a word.
It is a word, but it's not. It's
not what you're thinking.
It's not. It's not what you're friggin' using it as. Do you spell box B-O-K-S? Fucking dyslexic. Stop it.
Cali King, AJ Ruiz 2 date. They do not have a hard date yet. It's going to be in November or December. That's what they're looking at. Chavez Jr. still sucked too with all his advantages. I don't think so, man. Cholo says, yeah, he's not a professional spelling bee champion. You're a physician?
Wow. You're a physician? Well, don't.
Oh, my God.
Well, do me a favor. Whenever you write a prescription, don't ever put the word spelt on it like that unless you're telling a patient that you're going to give him grains.
We have the world's smartest audience here, by the way. But what was I? Yeah, Chavez Jr. saying he sucked. I don't think he sucked. He was good. He had a lot of good intangibles. He was just lazy. He just didn't want to train. And, you think about it. The guy grew up rich. And he grew up not really wanting anything or anything like that. It's very difficult, especially in this kind of sport, to make it to like where his father made it to or make that impact. I think he did pretty well. I got to be honest, man. I think he did pretty well with what he should have had a lot more, he should have went a lot further than what he did, but he did pretty well. He did pretty well in his career. Omar Rodriguez is a Harvard PhD. I love it. Igloo 2 is a physician.
Okay.
Camacho Jr. had his advantages and still managed to lose.
Okay, we're gonna straighten this out. Spelt can be used in the UK. We will now. Igloo, are you from the UK? Because if you're not from the UK, you can't use it. UK people in the UK.
Omar Rodriguez. Oh my God. Cali King, who do we have? AJ or Ruiz? I think Ruiz is going to do him again. I really do, man. I don't know how much different. Joshua would have to fight a completely different style, I think, to beat him. Beeb, do you think that rematch goes the same way? You think it's a repeat?
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
I have a feeling. I just have a feeling AJ is going to be a lot better in this rematch. I think everyone's the way every. I was wrong. Yes, I was wrong. But are you from the UK, Igloo? If you're not from the UK, you can't use it. If you're
going to say he's from the UK now.
If you're American, it's not accepted in America. It's only accepted in the UK. It's not accepted here. So yes, I was wrong. It is acceptable in the UK, but not in the US. But you're from the US. So stop it. You're an American. You can't use it.
Is Igloo from the US?
Where are you from, Igloo? He won't say because he
won't say.
He won't say.
He's a doctor, though.
Only people from the UK can use it because it's accepted in their language, in their dictionary, not in ours. Spelt or spelt? What's the difference? Writing explained. Don't make this mistake ever again. Learn the proper spelling of spelled and spelt with the examples of sentences. Spelt first spelt. Depends on where you live. In American English, spelt primarily refers to the handy wheat grown mostly in Europe, and the verb spelt in past tense. Okay, so in America, it is not acceptable. If you put spelt on a paper in an American fucking college or school, you would fucking get it circled, and it would be told.
Igloo 2, you're from the USA. You're a moron.
So,
all right,
you can't use spelt here.
You're not a doctor.
You can't use spelt here.
Sorry, buddy.
My parents speak.
My parents speak British English. No, go eat. I tell you what. Go eat some spotted dick and shut up. All right.
Sorry.
There you go.
So I was right. You can't use it. It's not correct in America.
My parents speak British English. Shut up.
It is not correct in America. Stupid. In American English, spelt primarily refers to the hardy wheat grown mostly in Europe, and the verb.
This is the
spelt.
guy. Babe, this is the guy who loves Jason. This is the guy who loves Jason. And,
just admit you were wrong.
PhD.
In the UK, it's acceptable. In America, it is not. I just fucking Googled it. Stop.
Here, I tell you what. Let's go to the lines here. 718. Where's 718?
New York.
Where's 718?
New York.
New York.
Screenshot your fucking credentials, Igloo 2, and we'll believe you.
Yeah, where'd you go to school at, Igloo?
Where'd you go to school? Just take a picture
of it. Where'd you go to school at?
Just go take a picture of it. I was in the military. I will screenshot my DD 214 and I'll fucking show it to everybody. I have all my credentials. Anyone wants to know anything about me, I'll show it to you.
There you go. Look at Beeb, man. He's ready to go. What's going on with Blog Talk here?
Not working?
No, it's like spinning. We got 718 on the line. I think it's Suleiman.
Oh, it's Suleiman, yeah. No, I was in the Army.
Give me a second.
My brother was a Marine. I was in the Army. I was in Germany.
Your brother was in the Marines?
Yeah, he was in the Marines.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was National Guard.
I went to school in Florida. Yeah, sure you did.
Need credentials.
DeVry. You went to DeVry.
Probably live in Georgia with Jason.
Blog Talk is now officially down. How about that? What a shock.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Isn't that horrible?
I hate Blog Talk. Blog Talk's the worst, man. It really is.
See if you can play around with it and get it working. Don't kill yourself over it, though.
No. Ben G was a Marine. Look at that. All right. Love it. Love it. My father was a Marine. Mike Montero, another Marine.
Never saw any action. Absolutely not. Nope. Did not. I just missed the first Gulf War.
No Robbie tonight. He's a true gentleman. You're absolutely right, John Doe. And no Robbie tonight, but he is a true gentleman. I agree with you.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the zone.
That doesn't mean he's not a true gentleman.
Not a gentleman enough to get the zone, though.
Oh, stop it.
That's a big flaw.
That's a big flaw.
Listen,
Blog Talk only works if you pay the bill. Yeah, you're right about that.
Listen,
you're right about that. Maybe that's our issue.
He's been paying the bill for 2 years now, and it ain't cheap. It's a good amount of money a month. I don't know if he wants me to release what it is a month. I don't know if he wants me to hold that back or not.
Here we go. Let's see if we can get back on here. Studio.
It's all right, Manny.
Manny Gatillo doesn't have the zone. That's okay.
That's okay, Manny. You're not doing a show, though. I'll cut you some slack because you're not doing a show, and that's why I do the live cast for you, Manny. All the
Beam Industries has to release their tax returns.
We'll never do that. Not unless we get audited, we don't release anything.
You guys are like Trump with the tax returns.
100%.
That's funny.
What happens if Ruiz beats AJ again? Be honest with you, I don't think AJ's done if he loses again. They'll rebuild him.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's.
I'm gonna say something very, very controversial. If AJ loses again, the Wilder fight will still happen, and I'll tell you why. Because they'll say that AJ matches up better with Wilder, and then what they'll say is Ruiz was just a bad style matchup for him. It just doesn't do good against shorter fighters, and then they could spin it like Deontay Wilder is just would be a better style matchup for him. That fight is going to happen regardless. Just like Pacquiao lost a few times before the Floyd fight happened, and the Floyd fight still happened. That fight's going to happen.
Yeah, Blog Talk is down. I tried it on a different machine. It's just down. So
Blog Talk part of the Zone subscription? Absolutely not.
I wish. Yeah,
Wish we could bundle it all. But wish we could bundle all of them. Like we can bundle cable, we can bundle Blog Talk, DAZN, and fucking ESPN Plus. Do I believe the AJ concussion rumors? Before, not sure I can confirm the concussion, but I think he got beat up in sparring. I think he got handled in sparring. There's other stories out there of him having problems in sparring with other guys too, like David Price supposedly hurt him in sparring bad. So.
Yeah, I think he got rocked, but I mean, I think everybody gets rocked in sparring, right? I mean, I think
I just think
beat up in sparring. I think that it's just part of the gig, and he's not the first guy that's happened to, and he won't be the last guy this happens to.
I just think that he had a bad camp, though. He got touched up more than usual in this camp for some reason.
Well, it's a tough thing. I mean, thinking he's going to fight Miller, finding out that happens, and then they got to run and get somebody else, and they get Ruiz, who, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, nobody thought he was going to do what he did, but if you're Anthony Joshua and you're ready to fight this big guy here, I don't know. It's got to be a letdown of sorts, no?
Absolutely. He underestimated him without question. Whether that's good enough excuse to use, not that he did use it, but he was on Instagram playing ping pong with this guy with his shirt off, and he had these like freaking biker shorts on. And I guess the people on Instagram were leaving comments. They were roasting him. They were like, "Why are you so happy after you lost?" And then they were the guy he was with was like saying that's a childish comment. What's he supposed to do? Mope around? It was just funny. They were roasting him.
I tell you what, Instagram, Twitter, they are the most ruthless places on earth. I mean, they are not for the faint of heart.
They're only asking for trouble when you go on Instagram like that.
Okay, so completely off topic, but I've got to share this.
Sure.
Because it provided me with over an hour of entertainment last night. I mean, it was insane. The funniest things, it was just, I laughed and laughed.
You going to tell me about the Paulie Malignaggi Adam Lobov press conference?
No.
Because that was fucking.
But we can.
That was fucking hilarious, too.
I didn't see it, but we can. So I was on Twitter last night and ran across OJ's account. I heard OJ is on Twitter.
Yeah, he's on Twitter now, yeah.
Juice.
Yeah.
So I go and look on his account, right? And he's got on there, I mean, every comment. I mean, he'll post something and then every comment underneath it is just ruthless. I mean, just ruthless. He said something about he's looking for a fantasy football. He's talking about fantasy football, and he says, well, I was going to take Patrick Mahomes, but, Baker Mayfield is good and Joe Flacco, and he named a couple of other guys. And one of the comments says, well, what about Joe Flacco? You like white Broncos? He says, well, what about this guy? He's got a real slash and dash style. I mean, they were just roasting. I mean, it was just vicious.
Was he replying to any of them?
No. I don't know that he does. But, yeah, I mean, it was crazy.
I heard he got a Twitter account.
Yeah, you got to go check it out and just look at the comments. I mean, it's amazing.
So here's my thing with this AJ Andy Ruiz rematch, and I'm just gonna say this, and it's in the back. It's something I've been thinking about a lot. I know AJ is going to be a lot better, but whether or not him being a lot better is going to be enough, that remains to be seen. I'm not sure how badly he was hurt in that fight. And if there's going to be residual damage, does he need more rest to recover from what he suffered in that fight? Those are all, valid points and valid questions and legitimate questions to ask. But I can't get out of my head Buster Douglas, how great he looked against Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And then he just went into that Holyfield fight like I already accomplished my dream. I did enough. He spent all that time in between the Tyson fight and the Holyfield fight, partying and having a great time. Part of me is thinking to myself, will Ruiz fall into that same trap? No disrespect to Ruiz, because he already doesn't have a discipline when it comes to his diet. He likes to eat a lot, right? So will he kind of overindulge in this victory lap tour that he's doing? Will he be focused enough on this rematch like he was in the first one? Will there be a letdown for him, like if there was a letdown for Tyson Fury after he beat Klitschko, because he felt like he achieved his goal? What else left is there? Now, I don't know Andy Ruiz personally. I don't know his what's going on in his head, but I do know that he likes to eat. I do know that he likes to have a good time and stuff. And I'm saying to myself, will complacency set in? Will he be satisfied enough with just winning the first fight? Will he have enough motivation, drive, and will it mean a lot to him to win the rematch just as much as it meant for him to win the first fight? That's in the back of my mind. So I know Anthony Joshua will be better, but I'm concerned whether or not Ruiz will be better. Now, the counter argument to that is, well, he had a 5-week camp. Look how great he did with just a 5-week camp. Now he's going to have an 8 to 10 week camp. Yeah, but will his mentality be the same? Because he had no pressure going in. Now he's got pressure because he's the champ now. He's got to prove to people that it wasn't a fluke. In the first fight, he was in a no-lose situation. See what I'm saying? So I'm just curious to see how he's going to be in the rematch. I know Anthony Joshua is going to be better, but will that be enough? So I don't know.
I would assert that Anthony Joshua still has a lot more pressure on him.
Yeah.
Than Ruiz has on him. That's for
sure.
I mean, Joshua's fighting for a lot. I mean, pressure just got doubled.
He's fighting for his career basically, because if he loses this fight, all those big fights that were on the table for him before, they're gone. They're gone for.
They're done.
The Wilder fight will eventually happen, but it won't happen soon. Like if he wins, the Wilder fight could happen next year. If he loses, the Wilder fight may not happen for 2 or 3 years. So, and he already said things like he got a sports psychologist and stuff. He's already complained about dealing with having problems dealing with tough camps and stuff. He made a comment to Carl Frampton once when he was being interviewed before this Ruiz fight, that if a situation like what happened to me in the Klitschko fight happens again, that I'm going to consider retiring because I don't want to keep being in fights like that. Well, you were in a fight like that again. So what does that say now? You know what I mean? So once you get taken to that place and you didn't like it, and then you say to yourself, I don't ever want to go back to that place again, and then you're taken to that place again, that fucks with your head, no?
I think so. I think so. And those are odd things for a fighter to say. But, sometimes you don't know how much of it is levity. You don't know how much of it is, this or that. Maybe they're just playing to the camera. You don't know. It's tough to speculate on stuff like that. But the fact that he did hire a sports psychologist.
There's something going on, Eric.
There's something there.
There's something going on
that you don't like, or that's not.
There's a confidence issue somewhere along the line.
Larry Merchant, thank you very much. His question: if AJ loses the rematch, I'm taking down the shrine. That's right. If AJ loses the rematch, he's taking down the shrine. Oh, man. it's interesting, man, because, you know, when Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson, all right, and you go back to that fight, who were you picking in the rematch? I was, you know, if there was a rematch going to happen, I was going to take Douglas in that rematch.
I was taking Tyson.
It was just an absolute battering. That fight wasn't even close. Omar Rodriguez, his contribution to the Blog Talk Bill. Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was taking Douglas. I mean, it was a severe beating. That fight was not even close. I couldn't even give Tyson a round, with the exception of that ninth round. What is it?
Eighth
round, because he was down in the ninth. He was done in
long count. But there's no such thing as a long count. You have to follow the referee's count. I'm so fucking sick of hearing that.
That was such a nonsense thing.
That's bullshit. Because this is the thing. If a referee's every referee is going to count to a different cadence. You're following the referee's cadence. So who's to say that if the count was faster, he wouldn't have got up faster, right?
Yeah, he follows the count. He follows the count. Callie King says, if AJ loses again, is he a hype job? No, I don't believe so at all.
I don't think so.
You know, listen, man, the guy, he was rushed. I don't think there's any question about that. He was rushed. And again, and I put this square on Hearn, because Hearn is the one who said it. Hearn is the one who did it, and Hearn is the one who said he is now a 2-time-a-year fighter. And this is right in the middle of all his progress.
Well, here's another.
He beats Charles Martin for the title. He starts stepping up his competition and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then the first thing that he wants to do is put him on 2 times a year as a spectacle. Not going to work, man. I mean, this guy needs you got him the title young. So he will need work. He will absolutely need work.
Hearn wants to keep bragging about how fast AJ moved and how fast he did this, how fast he did that. He wants to compare him to what Wilder did. But don't you think hindsight is 20/20, and the way they moved Wilder actually paid off for them? Because if they rushed Wilder, maybe he wouldn't be where he is today. They rushed Joshua. Now, if he loses this next fight, then his career is going to be severely in trouble. So then you're going to sit there and say, well, this guy had 23 fights, and now his career is pretty much going on the downward spiral. It's taken a turn for the worse, right? So you sit there and say, well, the guy's only had, like, which one is it, Eddie Hearn? Oh, well, look how much he's accomplished in 22 fights. He's way better than everyone else. Look what he was able to do. And you compare it to these other guys. So then when he loses, well, and then he goes, oh, well, you have to consider the guy's only had 22 fights. I mean, he doesn't have the experience that Andrew Ruiz has. So which one is it? Like, you're putting your foot in your mouth, because you're almost saying like that you should have given him more fights. You shouldn't have moved him so fast. The guy didn't have. What do you? He only had like 40. He only had 40 amateur fights and 22 professional fights compared to Andrew Ruiz. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's like you did him almost a disservice for moving him as fast as he did, because you never gave him a chance to develop his skills. So now you made a lot of money with him, but now you don't have long. You may not have that longevity now because you didn't allow him to develop. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Kobir brings up a good point too. One loss in so many judgments. He's 100% right. I mean, he's 100% right.
Yeah, but you weren't supposed to lose to that guy. That's the thing.
Right. Well, in fairness, Lennox Lewis wasn't supposed to lose to Oliver McCall either, or Hasim Rockman. Yep. And the big knock on Lennox was he didn't have a chin.
Yeah.
This and that. You know, listen, man. I mean, it kind of comes with the territory, though. I mean, if you're gonna put this card on your shoulders and everything like that, and put the world championship on your shoulders, and go out there and fight and be the main guy, you got to be able to take the criticism too. So,
when you were put on such a high pedestal,
yeah, and
you don't live up to the hype, then you're going to be criticized. Yeah, that's exactly right, Igloo. Wilder didn't have a lot of fundamentals, but AJ has some flaws as well. AJ's very flawed defensively.
Yeah. And that is a good point. They had to move Wilder so slow because he has no fundamentals. I mean, he clearly has fundamentals where he wouldn't be the champ. But he's right. They moved him. They moved him the right way, though. They may have, you may argue they moved him a little bit too slow, but they moved him the right way because now look at him. He's the man. He's the man in the division, like it or not. I mean, he is the man. Why he's not a bigger star, I'll say it over and over. And I heard Dana White say the same thing. I don't understand why he's not a bigger star.
He'll get there.
Yeah.
He'll get there. He'll definitely get there. I mean, but the thing is, I don't think he's going to beat Fury.
No, I don't think so either. No, I don't think anybody's beating Fury right now. He looks good. He looks really.
He's going to get better too.
Yeah, guys, absolutely. Make sure to hit the like button. If you like what we're doing, if we're entertaining you, go ahead and hit the like button. Let us know what you think, that kind of thing. Let's see here. So some other news here. This is interesting. Canelo and Triple G. The fight is actually apparently being held up by the site. Canelo wants to fight in Vegas, and Triple G wanted somewhere else. Now, remember we were talking about this with Eddie Hearn and wanting to fight in UK versus here?
Yeah.
Same scenario, Beeb. Beeb, it's the same exact scenario.
As long as in Madison Square Garden, why can't they fight Madison Square Garden? Both fighters have already fought Madison Square Garden before, so they should fight. They should fight Madison Square Garden.
Just going back to the chat here, Jason says Wilder had an anxiety attack the first fight. What are you talking about, son? Come on. Okay, so according to Lance Pugmire, who posted on Twitter today, this is what he posted. DAZN wants to fight. Gennady wants to fight. Oscar wants to fight. Eric from Golden Boy wants to fight. I think Canelo dislikes Golovkin so much, he doesn't want him to make money off his back. This fight is far from done, and he also posted later on that there is ongoing negotiations. They said in, Keith Idek from Boxing Scene reported that, it's actually, now he's reporting somebody else, that negotiations for a third fight have stalled due to Golovkin's reluctance to face Alvarez in Las Vegas for a third time, and who could blame him? So, yeah, there you go, man. So,
here's one ray of hope, though, Eric. The money can't be a holdup because the DAZN's paying each guy based off their contract. They're paying each guy separately. So there's really no back-end money to argue about because Golovkin has a separate contract with the DAZN, and so does Canelo. So there's no argument over splits. I mean, because the DAZN's going to pay each guy what they're going to pay each guy. Really.
And Golovkin clear wants to fight in New York City. It says in the article he wants to fight in New York City.
So,
Suleiman on the chat, we were taking calls. Blog Talk is down, so we cannot take calls.
Yeah, we tried, Suleiman. Sorry.
Yeah. Triple G Canelo fight should be in Dallas. Yeah, I don't.
Well, that's what he said. He said he wants it to be either in New York or Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, he just wants a fair shake. He just wants a fair shake. And I tell you what, the first fight he didn't get a fair shake, but the second fight, man, listen, I had the fight a draw, but I don't hate the fact that Canelo won that fight.
I thought Golovkin won the second fight too, but what are we going to do?
Aaron Rosas says, let's be real. All the heavyweights that had a chance to fight Joshua, if he was an easy touch, they would have, stepped up and taken it. He's right. So the fact is, Joshua's not an easy touch, No,
he's not an easy touch.
No. Yeah, so there you go. So is Cotto being, or not Cotto, slip there. Is Canelo being a diva here?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right?
Because again, there is no when you're a DAZN fighter, if you're under contract by DAZN, and DAZN's paying each fighter separately based off of their contract, there really is no A side and B side. I mean, obviously, in theory, Canelo would probably be the A side in terms of popularity, but in terms of negotiations, this is one good thing about signing with DAZN. You don't have to argue. You don't really have to argue over splits if you have a contract with DAZN, because same thing with Wilder, he was going to get paid out by DAZN, and Joshua was going to get paid out by DAZN. So it wasn't like they would. That's what Eddie Hearn said. It's like we don't have to sit down and negotiate with them. They got to sit down and talk with the zone, and they got to argue back and forth with the zone with what they want. Like they told Wilder right up front, you want to fight Joshua, we're going to give you $40 million, and that was what they were going to give him. So, the same situation here where Canelo's got the $100 million contract. Golovkin has a $100 million contract, and Canelo's got the 365. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like I said, man, I mean, I think there is something to what Lance Pugmire said. I think there really is. I think Canelo really hates this guy. He doesn't. Yeah,
he wants to make it. He wants to make. He doesn't want to give this guy anything he wants, and
yeah, he doesn't.
And it's based out of spite, and I get it because they don't like each other, and why should I do this guy any favors? Fuck him. I get it. But in the same token, Canelo's very popular in New York. He's very popular in fucking Dallas.
Yeah.
So it's like anywhere the guy goes, probably he's gonna have the advantage because he's basically the house fighter.
Anywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Anywhere he's DAZN's money.
Yeah.
Man.
He's all he's.
And DAZN really wants this fight. They're really pushing hard.
I don't know. I think I kind of like it in New York. I don't know. What would you rather see it, New York or Dallas?
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, because Dallas is big. It'd be more.
Dallas is big.
Be more of a spectacle, right?
Dallas is big, and just a huge Latino population there. I mean, just 30,000 people rooting for Canelo. I mean,
Canelo's a fucking superstar.
Yeah, he is.
I kept telling people that last year. Like, you can't even compare the two between him and AJ. They're like, oh, AJ's way more popular. No, he's fucking not. Look how much fucking. The only numbers that were ever released on DAZN were Canelo numbers. Why? Because they were the only numbers that were fucking worthy of being released. They don't release Joshua's numbers on DAZN because they're not as high as fucking Canelo's. Canelo's got the two highest fucking rated fucking viewed events on the fucking DAZN by far.
Canelo's the money guy, no question.
You can't even compare it.
I don't think there's any question about that. I mean, he's the money guy. He's the new Ford, in the sense that if you want to make some money, you're fighting.
One guy's making close to $40 million a fight. The other guy's making $20. It's like fucking. It's not even a comparison.
Igloo 2 said, I wouldn't be surprised if more people know AJ around the world. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Maybe, but he doesn't generate the same amount of money.
Right.
It's not even a question.
That's the thing. He's not going to generate the same amount of money as Canelo. No question.
You just got to accept it, Larry. I mean, anyone that has a calculator can accept it. It's not hard to figure this out. Want it?
Canelo the king.
Canelo's the shit. Fury's coming up, though. Fury's coming up.
No, he's not.
He's not
even close to AJ status yet.
No one's gonna catch. No, he's close to AJ status. He is. He's very popular in the UK. If he can make it here, I think he can make it here, Eric. I'm serious.
Oh, I absolutely think he can make it here. Everybody loves that.
He's
guy.
fucking.
He's charismatic.
He's got a great fucking personality. That card was a nothing burger. The co-main was pretty good. But that was a nothing burger, but they made that card interesting. Top Rank and ESPN did a phenomenal job promoting that card. That was beautiful.
A nothing burger. What's the matter with you?
I'm being honest, and I love the guy. I love Fury. I would never say it to his face because I have so much respect for him, but I have to say it right here because he's You're
more comfortable talking behind his back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll tell you the truth.
Igloo 2 said he's quite the charmer. Yes, he is.
No, I like him. I love Fury. Yeah, it wasn't a good card. I like the co-main was good though. I like the co-main. The women's fight was horrible.
Oh God. Jesus. But Tyson Fury hates the LGBT.
Yeah, he's got a lot of fucking negatives. See, here's the thing now.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah, he's not down with them.
Once he does become, they're already writing articles of like Deadspin already wrote an article about him about his all of his gaffes that he's said over the years. So once he does become popular, you watch.
That's all coming.
You watch
out,
all that shit's coming out.
What is it with him and Billy Joe Saunders?
They're friends.
No, both of those guys make those kind of cracks though about like the LGBT and stuff like that. Man, they both make cracks about that.
Loma King, I had the steak and fry meals. I had 2 steak and fry meals today. I had one for breakfast and one for lunch. Doing pretty good. He asked me what I had for the MegaFit meals.
Oh, I got you.
He always asks me about my MegaFit meals.
Nice. Hamed 92, excuse me, says Fury hates the LDPC.
Does he even know who the LDPC is?
That's funny, man.
1, 2, 3. The crew was called LDBC.
That's funny. All right. Other news. Clarissa Shields suffered a minor knee injury during road work. She'll have to reschedule her next fight, which was in August.
Who was it? What kind of injury was it? I hope it's not a fucking tear.
No, minor knee injury. That's what
I hope it's just a sprain.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything major. Just probably not comfortable to run on.
What's the LGD? What's the Q stand for? That's a good question.
Hey, why are you asking me? I don't know. Questioning, maybe? I heard it. My wife said it was questioning.
Oh, okay.
I think that was questioning.
LGBTQ.
I thought it was LGBT, but it's LGBT, and there's a Q in there.
Oh, okay.
All right, let me throw out a lifeline and text in and see what that answer is here. Or you know what? I got Google. I can do that. What is Q? The Q stands for queer or questioning their sexuality. That's the Q. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. And to recognize the inclusion of a popular variant, they add the letter Q for people who identify as queer. What's the difference? What's queer?
Or
questioning their sexual identity.
Let's Google queer. Google is your friend.
Queer is an umbrella term for sexual and gender minorities who are not heterosexual or cisgender. What's cisgender? Originally meaning strange or peculiar, queer came to be known as against those of the same sex. Okay. Yeah, but isn't like if you're lesbian or gay, aren't you queer? Aren't you considered queer?
No.
What's the difference? No? What's the difference?
Queer is if you're like bisexual kind of. Oh, queer.
Igloo 2 just called me a Renaissance man. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Let's Google queer beeb. Brilliant stuff, boys.
Who said that? Oh, John Doe.
John Doe. Queer is a dirty gay.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I knew this was a bad idea.
I hope YouTube don't take this video down.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying anything. We're just reporting on what it is. They asked me, I told you. That's it. I can't help what they say in the chat.
Okay, we'll move on.
I know. We can move on now.
we can move on, Igloo.
Oh, my goodness. Do you think the Canelo Triple G fight gets made? The third one? And do you think it goes to Vegas? No. Wow. I don't think it gets made.
I think it goes to Dallas.
It's possible.
I think it'll go to Dallas.
Golovkin said he wants it in New York.
Well, no, he said New York or Dallas. Yeah.
Did he? I thought he just
said he said New York or Dallas. But he's going to get robbed in Dallas too. Look what happened to Trump in Dallas. Oh no, that was San Antonio. I'm sorry, but it was still Texas.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know, man. I would think, like I said, man, I think Canelo's going to hold his ground here. And they were talking about finding him different opponents if it wasn't solved by Friday. In case you guys are not keeping track, Friday is tomorrow.
But the same thing happened in the second fight where they were ready to fucking pull the plug on it, and then they ended up caving into Golovkin. Oscar won. Can I say something here too? Golden Boy needs the biggest fights possible out of Canelo because they need to make money. They don't have anyone else. Golden Boy's not going to let this fight slip through their fingers. They know DAZN really wants this fight, and DAZN has a big influence on. I'm not saying DAZN can strong arm Eddie Hearn and strong arm Oscar De La Hoya, but to a degree maybe they can, because even Eddie came out and said today, someone asked him, not today, but I think it was yesterday or the day before, it was this week. Someone asked him, how much of an influence does DAZN have on choosing the venue? And he said, well, we'll sit down with them, but, we have the final say because it's in the contract, but that's not to say that DAZN won't offer us more money to fight in the U.S. as opposed to fight in the U.K. I mean, but then he said, but it's really not about the money. It's about trying to win the fight. But guess what? It ended up being about the money because the fight's back in the United States.
Right.
So.
Right, and I think DAZN has a big.
I do too.
Listen, they're not the end all be all, but they got it. Listen, if they're paying you that much money,
they just invested too much money to be sitting on their hands when fights are being made.
Yeah, and they're not gonna, listen, man, they're not gonna sit on this too long. As far as like, hey, we can't put the fight together. Why not? You know what I mean? We're paying you $300 million. Why can't you put this fight together?
But if I'm a fighter,
make him happy.
But if I'm a fighter, and I'm concerned about my purse, I would fight in Vegas because there's no fucking state tax. You fight in New York. If you fight anyone that wants to fight in New York, if they have a choice to fight in New York or Vegas, and the money is about equal, and they choose New York, they're gonna get crushed in taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fact, man.
So, it's crazy.
Well, that's why I remember Pacquiao, how he was fighting overseas and stuff like that because he was getting murdered on taxes.
Most of the time when he came here, he fought in Vegas, so he wouldn't have to pay the state tax.
Igloo 2 says Texas has no state tax either. He thought. I don't know. I don't know about. Now I know Nevada has.
Let's Google that. Does Texas have state tax? Google's our friend. Does Texas have state income tax?
Hey Siri, does Texas have state income tax?
Okay, I found this on the web for does Texas have state income tax? Check it out.
Shut up. States with no income tax? Yeah, Texas does not have.
No, they don't. Tax. Alaska, Florida, Nevada, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington, and Wyoming have no income tax.
Look at that. Look at Omar Rodriguez.
With
the quick answers.
Thank you, Omar. So Texas would be a good place.
There you go. Hamed92 is asking, do I listen to Inside Boxing Daily or any other podcast on The Grueling Truth? I'll be honest with you. I mean, I like The Grueling Truth, okay, but honestly, I usually don't listen to a lot of other podcasts. We kind of concentrate on this one. I know Beeb and I are so busy with getting content just for this one and getting content out there, getting stuff. And then once we get a show together, we have to do the production end of it and everything like that. I don't have time, to be honest with you, man. I really don't. I wish I did, but I don't. We just, between all the research that we do for the show, between all the stuff that we do and getting ready for it and everything, it's just not in the cards for us, man. At least not for me. I can't speak for Beeb on that, but for myself, no.
It's hard. It's hard. I don't want this to sound the wrong way, but it's hard for me to sit through like an hour or 2 hours of someone else's podcast. This is too much. I'll tell you what I do like to listen to every now and then. I like the 3 knockdown rule. I I like Steve Kim, believe it or not. I mean, I think
I like Steve
I don't
Kim
agree
too.
with a lot of things he says, but he's got he says a lot of smart things sometimes, and he does have a lot of connections. So
Yeah, he's good. Gabe and Dave Duenas, Gabriel Montoya and Dave Duenas. Those guys are really good. Obviously Montero's really good. We like Montero a lot here. Yeah, but those are the ones that like I'll try to spot listen to and stuff like that. And those three especially. And I just started listening to the Gabriel Montoya and Dave Duenas one, the Leave It in the Ring. Yeah.
I like
LA. Thank you very much. It's
I
Leave It
like
in the
Dave.
Ring. He was
I
really
like Dave
good.
Duenas. I like Dave Duenas.
He's really good. But I've always liked Gabriel Montoya
Yeah.
too. He's always been real cool to me and everything like that. He's always been a good guy.
One thing you got to respect about Gabe, when he puts his heart and soul into something, especially when he's concerned about a topic, he'll fucking research it to no end. He's an Gabe Montoya is an outstanding researcher. I give him credit for that, and he has a lot of balls. He'll put things out there that no one else will put out. So
right. Yeah, he is really.
Ahmed 92 asks, "Do we go back and listen to our own podcast all the time?" All the time.
All the
I think
time.
it's
all
fucking,
the time. Yeah, that's how we critique ourselves and everything like that. And you have to be like really honest. It's sometimes it's really tough because you go back and you listen to it and you have to be really honest with yourself. Like, yeah, that really sucked.
Yeah.
Or that show moved. Somebody in the chat just said the 3 knockdown moves fast. Well, that's because they're on a time schedule there. And we try to put ourselves on somewhat of a time schedule, but sometimes we do like go on and everything like that, so there you go. Steve Kim used to be on Leave It in the Ring. Right. Yeah, he did. Nelson Santos, salute. Cali King, salute. Hamed 92, salute. Mario G, salute. Igloo 2, salute. Tony Yayo, salute. Kobir, salute. Jason, salute. Let's see here. Who else is in there? Tony Yayo, salute. Scant Rant, salute. EM Serrano, salute. Omar Rodriguez, of course, salute. I think that's going to run it, guys, man. I think that's going to be it here. So stay tuned. Now,
you know what I want? What I want to do?
What?
Tomorrow, you know what I really want to do? If you want to do this, I want to do a preview of the Artem Lobov Paulie Malignaggi fight, if you want to, after the weigh-in, because that fight's actually getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's starting to catch fire a little bit, and
yeah,
I'm actually really interested in that fight.
That pay-per-view is only $40.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy that pay-per-view. We're doing a live cast for that too, right?
I'm gonna try. Now, I didn't realize this. Don't
worry about it. If you don't do it, I'll do it. It's no. I mean,
I didn't realize this.
I'll do it myself.
But we, what's it called? LA Galaxy and FCC play on Saturday at 7:30. So I think we can get. I want to say the main event's not going to go off till 11.
The card doesn't start till 9.
Yeah, so the main event won't even go off till 11. We will be home by then. I don't think there's any question about that. So I may not see many of the other fights on there, but I should be home by the time to see that fight.
The card's pretty good too.
Chris Lieben?
Yeah, Chris Lieben's a beast at bare knuckle. See his last couple fights?
Chris Lieben is a monster, man. He was a monster in MMA. He can hit. He can take a shot, and he can give a shot, man. He is amazing.
This pay-per-views cost more than fucking AJ pay-per-views over in the UK. I would like you to interview Andy Ruiz Jr. on your show, the Unified Heavyweight Show.
You know what? I'll be honest with you, though, man. I don't know, man. So when we do interviews, they don't get a lot of. We've done a couple of really good interviews, I thought, and they don't get a lot of run here, man. Like when we post them and stuff, none of you guys.
Interviews.
I don't know.
Interviews are overrated too. Like it's like, I don't know.
Right.
I've done a lot of.
The Big Baby Miller interview was good. We broke news on that one. And it still didn't, they don't do that well. And I don't understand it, man. We go ahead and, get people on here to get them interviewed and stuff like that. Like Caleb Plant one did terrible. I thought that one did really well.
Bare knuckle boxing, Tony. Yeah.
Hamed 92. I didn't hide anything. Yeah, and Tony Ayo, it's a bare knuckle card. Bare knuckle boxing. That's what it is. It's not MMA or boxing. It's kind of like a hybrid of the two. Beeb and Eric love hogging the mic. Well, it is our show. Beeb, who else can we let talk? That's pretty silly comment, Jason. Hey, Jason, why did you block Beeb? Why did you block Beeb on Facebook?
Thank you, by the way, for doing that. I love it. Now I'm not going to get spammed anymore. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't want my partner.
Interview Georgie is entertaining.
I don't want my partner to roll over. Like, why does this thing keep pinging, Joseph?
Yeah. Beeb got the block. He deserves it. He got roasted. Yeah, Jason. If
he didn't block me after that, I would have had less respect for him than I have now. Like he had to
do it.
He got destroyed. You might as well tap out after that.
Yeah. What else are you gonna do? I mean, that was rough, man.
Wouldn't.
If you guys didn't catch it, what is it? What was it? Yesterday or the
I think
Tuesday?
It was yesterday. But if that was me, I wouldn't want to fuck with. I wouldn't want to fuck with me after that beating either. There's always that one kid on the block that you just don't fuck with. Like when he comes down the street, and he has that look in his eye. Everyone crosses the street and goes the other way. That's how I am to Jason now. He knows he can't fuck with this now. He had to block me.
Yeah, that was bad, man. Yeah,
when you block someone on Facebook, that's the equivalent. That's the equivalent of shelling up into the fetal position when you're in a fight.
He's just putting a bag over his head now, son. That's it. That's all he's doing. Yeah, that was messed up, man. Even Jason said it was like beating up the Down syndrome kid down the block. Wow.
It was.
Even he admitted he got.
It was. I felt bad. After that, I did donate money to the Down Syndrome Foundation.
Wow.
I donated to the Down Syndrome Foundation because I said
Wow. So you got to walk it now. You're gonna get blocked on Twitter.
Because I said to myself, I beat up one of your own.
It was pretty harsh. Yeah, Tony, it was real harsh, man. If you guys didn't get a chance to see it, go watch it, man. It was
John, you have to support him because no one else does.
Yeah. Man, you have to support him. Look at Kiko trolling. Look at Kiko trolling in the chat. I love it. You guys think Ruiz should drop weight for the rematch? No. Well, listen, man, I think he should drop weight just because I think he'd be faster. It would help his stamina. But I'm going to tell you right now, you know who needs to drop weight is AJ. AJ needs to lean up. AJ needs to drop weight, not Ruiz. Listen, man, Jason needs to drop weight. AJ needs to drop weight. If Ruiz gains, he'll be a whale.
No disrespect to Down syndrome kids. Of course, you can't disrespect your clan. Listen, I'm glad you came out and admitted you had Down syndrome. It's fine. It's okay. That's not why I made fun of you, though. I made fun of you because you look like an inbred Jed.
We made fun of you because you're a moron. Frankly.
You wear Oshkosh bagoshes. You have 3 teeth. You have a haircut like a fucking 6-year-old. You still get whiffles like a 6-year-old. You're a mess.
It says Eric. Jason says Eric needs to drop weight. He said, Eric, get on that diet, son. I will right after I get off your mom. All right, there you go.
Says the kid that doesn't have a muscle on his body.
Should we roll that picture?
Let's roll that picture again. Oh my god!
Should we roll that picture again?
Oh my god! That picture.
God.
He looks like fucking. Who's that fucking? He looks like Gomer Pyle, with a fucking blonde, with a blonde whiffle. He looks like Remy from American History X. That fucking doesn't it?
That's what was messed up. You know what? That's what was messed up about it. Is he looked dead.
He looks just like that guy Remy from American History X. When he's fucking fighting the kid, he goes, "Fuck you, Malik." The guy's name's Malik. Fuck you, Malik. And he's
Malik.
getting his shit kicked out.
Oh my god. Ahmed92 says, do you guys think PBC putting Mikey and Danny and Spence on Porter on TV is a good idea for the company that started free boxing? It's not really their idea. I think it's a Fox thing. It's not their thing. It's a Fox thing.
Spence was pissed off though. They weren't going to put it on pay-per-view, and he was pissed. Remember? They were going to put fucking.
Yeah, that's right.
It was fucking crazy.
Yeah. So what are you going to do? Yeah. I mean, I hate the pay-per-view model. I hope every pay-per-view fails. But I mean, I do. I mean, why would you want to pay for fights? I mean, honestly, like. I don't even like, I mean, truth be told, listen, I don't like paying for Showtime to watch fights. I don't like paying for, are they pay-per-view worthy fights? I mean, what is pay-per-view? I mean, every other sport, no other sport, with the exception of like combat sports are on pay-per-view, right? How would you feel if the Super Bowl was on pay-per-view or like the UEFA was on pay-per-view?
Oh my God.
You know?
Oh my God, he changed his fucking icon because he's so embarrassed because he got fucking, he got schooled so bad he changed his icon. Oh my God.
No.
Oh my God. What a loser.
What? He took his picture off of Facebook?
Let me check.
Jason, put your picture back on Facebook, man.
I think he took it off.
Oh, come on, dude. We were only playing around.
Oh no, he still has it. Oh,
we were only
no, he still has
man. Seriously, you ain't got to
He still has it. He still has it.
Oh, he's got it. Because you imagine if he took it off.
It's fucking $2 tooth. It's got 3 teeth in his mouth and 2 of them are buck. Looks like such a fucking hick.
Omar Rodriguez says you guys are bullies.
Looks like,
man. You're right. He's right. We're being bullies, babe.
He looks like such a redneck.
Picking on the slow kid.
Do you think he's got like a fucking swastika tattooed on his ass?
I think not by his choice. If he does.
I can imagine how many times he got beat up and thrown in lockers as a kid.
Nelson Santos says the most pragmatic thing to do is to get rid of the pay-per-view. I agree. There you go. All right, guys, we're going to jump off here. Join us tomorrow. We're going to do a show after the weigh-in, after the Lobo. What time is that weigh-in, Beeb?
I'm not sure. I got to fucking find out.
We'll find it, but either way, we'll do a show about it. I'm interested in this fight, man. This is going to be good. And a lot of you guys out there may not be interested in it, but hey, listen, man. Come Saturday, we'll be doing a fight cast on it. So if you guys don't want to pay for it or whatever, it's all good. And just come watch our live cast, man. You guys can hear about it.
I think Jason's a Nazi. Do you think Jason's a Nazi? He looks like a fucking Nazi. He looks like one of those neo-Nazis that go to Trump rallies with their fucking shaven heads.
Come on, man. He's cleaning up on aisle 7 right now, man. Don't do that. He's got to concentrate on his work before he gets
Hell no, we won't go. Hell no.
He's got to concentrate.
Hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go.
Oh, stop it.
Fuck you, Malik. Fuck you.
Leave him alone.
Fuck you, Malik. Psh, psh, psh. Stop hitting me. Fuck you, Malik. That's hilarious.
Oh, man. All right, guys. We will catch you tomorrow, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody.